Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of my series Practical Sketchbook Magic, and today I'm going without a reference photo and instead I'll be drawing the inside of my dream greenhouse which will be covered in beautiful plants, and I'll be using a mixture of watercolour pencils and watercolour paints, and I may even throw in some pen too. So go grab a cosy drink, I've got my latte ready, and also grab your sketchbook and join me while we fill our sketchbook with all kinds of shades of green, which, in case you didn't know, is my favourite colour. So we could do some hanging plants, we could do loads of pots on a table. Yeah, let's just sketch and see what we end up with. That could be like a base of a table, and then we could put the plants and all the small pots here, and then we could have some hanging plants. I really want to get one of them. I might have to go to the garden centre this weekend. Oh, listen to me talking about a garden centre. It's funny, you hit 35 and you become obsessed with garden centres. Honestly, I think it's like going to therapy. I just love walking around, looking at all the plants. It just lifts my spirits. I don't know why, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. But that's why I wanted to paint some pretty plants today, because they just make me happy. Maybe this pot has got some tools in it. Sort of. Oh, it's just started raining, typical. It's going to get really loud in here next. Oh, I know what I've forgotten. I wanted to do a watering can. Maybe I can get rid of this one. Yeah. 1 minute. Okay, there's my watering can. Sorry it's a bit dark in here today. I'm going to draw that. So I am definitely someone who needs a reference photo. Maybe it's because my memory's so bad, or it's a comfort thing. I just need that subject in front of me to draw, whether it be like still life, like the watering can, or from a photo. Drawing from pure imagination is so hard for me. Let me know if you are the same, or if you prefer drawing from imagination. So with the pot shapes put in, I decided to do a light wash on the background using some Daniel Smith lavender and buff titanium. I thought they would be lovely creamy colours and would make the atmosphere look kind of dreamy. And I knew I didn't want any white of the paper showing on this drawing, so I wanted to make sure that the background was fully covered, even if it's something very light. I always use the hairdryer trick when I want the watercolour to dry faster. Just make sure you have it on a low setting, as you don't want the paint moving across your page. So now I'm grabbing my watercolour pencils to draw in the plants, and I feel like I haven't used these for ages, probably before Christmas. I always love going back to these though. They are my favourites, Faber-Castell, and I just love the way they move when you add the water. And if you haven't used these pencils before, I would recommend you do, as you can draw with them like regular pencils, then add water to turn your art into a watercolour painting basically. They blend so well and they're perfect for both beginners and experienced artists. Honestly, I can't rave about these enough. They are my absolute favourites. So I thought about doing the bottom layer of a few plants with watercolour first, then going in with some details with the pencils. This is meant to be a fern, a hanging fern plant, but I think it turned out pretty crazy looking, but never mind. So these are my swatches for my watercolour pencils, the Faber-Castells. I should have got these out earlier, but now obviously we can pick and choose what colours. That's a good leafy colour, nice bit of pine green as well. Yeah, that should help. To be honest, I didn't really have a plan for today's drawing. I was trying my best to use my imagination and just go with the flow, which isn't really how I operate. So this drawing did start to give me major imposter syndrome. But I tried to push through the awkward stages, and I did try to loosen up the drawing by pushing out the colour from the pencils with a wet brush just outside the lines to create a more softer, less structured appearance. So I'm actually starting to like it now. Now we've got the colour bleeds and the background looking more, I don't know, colourful. A lot of work to go, but there is hope. I've just spotted somebody in the garden. I don't know if you can see him. There he is. He's coming for the seeds that James has just put out. Oh no, maybe not. Oh. Oh. Come back. Right, okay, let's think about what we want to do next. I think I like the yellowy, orangey vibe. We've got green and orange. Let's put some orange in here. Like this Venetian red. Where are you, Venetian? Oh, Venetian red. Whoops. I've had some really bad luck when it comes to pencil sharpeners lately. This is the second one that's broken. My first Derwent sharpener stopped working the other day, and it was traumatizing as I loved it. And to be honest, it didn't last long at all. I know I've probably been using the hell out of it, but I thought it would last a bit longer than a few months, to be honest. But if you have any recommendations of any good pencil sharpeners, I would be grateful. So I decided to go in with my set of sepia Faber-Castell Pitt Artist fine liners. I got a set of 4 pens in a pack, all with different thicknesses. And I really like the sepia pens as they have a lovely rich earthy tone. These sepia pens use a pigmented Indian ink that is both waterproof and light fast, and I think the sepia tone offers a more warmer, natural alternative to the black ink pens, and I think they'll be really good to create vintage style illustrations. I normally go in with the ink before the watercolour, but here I'm doing the line work after. I think it depends on what medium you're using. Watercolour is mostly transparent, so you would see the line work beneath it. If you were to use acrylic or gouache on top, you would lose the line work, as they're more opaque mediums. But of course, it's whatever you feel like doing, and of course, you know, you can always go back over the with pen once it's dried. I thought we needed some flowers in this greenhouse as it was looking a little bit sad, so I popped in a sunflower plant. I started with the pencil sketch and then I used my watercolour pencils to colour it in, and you can build up shading and details by layering the different colour pencils in different areas, and once you're happy you use a damp brush to activate the pigment, blending and softening the colours like watercolour paint. I like blending the colour pencils on the paper, but you can actually pick up the pigment from the pencil with a wet brush, or even dip your pencil in water for a more intense colour. Of course, when it dries, you can lay more pencil and more colour on top. And I couldn't help myself, I had to draw a bird considering I've been sitting here watching the robins hopping around my garden. I had to draw a bird, and so I popped a little one on top of the shovel, and I think it brings, I don't know, a little bit of life to it, and I added some butterflies later and some bees, and yeah, I think it makes it more of an illustration. Right, I'm going to do another flower hanging here. Yes. A bit low this time. I get this round. Okay. I might just use pencils at this. Right. Whoa, it's windy out there. So some orange flowers. And just like the weather that day, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I just did it anyway. Sometimes you just got to have days like that, and all you need to do is just put paint to paper and see what happens, basically. Here is the finished piece. To be honest, it's not how I wanted it to turn out. Actually, far from it. But I think that the turning point for me was when I put in the robin and the butterflies and obviously the bees. It took more of an illustrative style and reminded me of a series of illustrations I did about a year ago with some cute animal drawings, and I remembered really enjoying doing these, and I think I should get back into this style of illustration. It's probably where I'm heading anyway, because I feel like I naturally go there, especially with the ink and wash. But yeah, tell me what you think, and I hope you liked today's drawing. You may have noticed I forgot to put in the bottom of the shovel what the bird's sitting on. So I'm going to pop that in and I'll show you after this what the finished piece looks like. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you again for sticking with me. Like I said, I really didn't know how today's drawing was going to go, but I'm happy you kept me company, and I think I'll be diving into my gouache paints next. So watch out for the next episode. But until then, make sure you take care of yourself, and bye for now.